when we're thinking about convergence and divergence, we also need to be thinking about the future, about what the future holds for technology, business, policy, and services. What I think the future is wireless grids. That is both, can be narrowband and broadband, can be here and there, can be in virtual spaces across machines. So we've been working on this now for 10 years, imagining this next frontier of convergence and divergence in services. We now have several examples of what wireless grid applications may consist of, but it's important to now realize that what we're just speaking of is a different form of communication and convergence, where we're not thinking so much about people to people talking, but about machines talking to machines, or machines talking to applications, or occasionally machines talking to users, rather than just users speaking to users, which is what we usually think we're doing. So with this new wave of convergence possible, there are now these new divergent capabilities for many, many different types of applications of machine-to-machine communication. We call that, or we thought about that initially as a grid, similar to an electrical grid or other kinds of grids. That we still call it a grid, we still call it a wireless grid, even though, you know what, in this virtual space, it doesn't really matter whether it's across a wire or a wireless network. So we now have examples of these applications for creating new forms of divergent applications. One for social radio, in which peers, meaning people, and their machines, and their music, and their cloud resources can all mash up together on the fly and create their own radio show whenever they feel like it, from wherever they are. So this is as opposed to what most people are doing, where they're all converging on imagining everything out in the cloud, out somewhere in the network. And we're saying, well, you're kind of forgetting that there's all these digital devices around you that have things on them too, and we should think different and think about how to bring those resources together and let them help us create new applications, new divergent services.